Good morning, everybody. It's day 3 vlog. So, as I was saying yesterday, I was exhausted. I was even tired at work. It was a struggle to get through it, but I did. Drove home. I was even tired driving home. It was one of those keep the window open, turn the air on, don't fall asleep types. But I mean, it is what it is. I went home yesterday. Of course, we went and got the toes done. You know, baby always asked me to get them, so I got it. It was fine. I don't think I'm gonna be doing that a lot, but it was cool. And after dinner, I passed out on the couch. I pretty much slept most of the night. I got up to go to the bedroom, got in bed. I guess I was asleep by 7, about 7 to 5 this morning. Got up. There was nothing going on this morning. I was just tired, and you'll get that way a lot. That's the thing. You know what? People don't get it. I think the working out part, the recovery part, is harder than the diet. The diet is easy. Diet is just setting it up. So you get the foods in. How hard can eating be? I like to eat, so obviously that's why I put so much weight on, because I enjoy the eating part. I enjoy the workout parts too, but I'm saying this and sharing this just to let you know, especially when you're older. I mean, your body needs time to recover. Even a person like me who works out a lot. I took the week off last week, and when I went back this week, I did the same stuff I usually do. But again, my body, just how my body responded to it. Don't get discouraged if your body or you can't go one day. This is not a perfect process. You will miss days. You will miss days on eating properly too. That's okay. You know what? You're not, like I said, you're going week by week. That's how I do it. And I do that purposely because I know I'm going to mess up, or I'm going to stray from it every now and then, or something's going to happen. You don't have to work out every day. We do recommend at least 5 times, in the gym or some type of workout. It doesn't have to be 5 consecutive days. It's going to be 2 days on, 1 day off, 2 days on, 1 day off. All depends on how you want to do it. Excuse me. So today I'm going to go home. I'm going to do cardio. That's it. My body, my legs. I did legs yesterday morning, and I didn't even go crazy. I mean, I did 100 reps on everything. Leg extension, leg curls, lunges, leg press. I kept it simple, because again, my energy level wasn't that high. But again, once I came to work yesterday in the day, I feel it. My legs are screaming, which I like. So don't get it twisted. I love that. But you got to know when to rest. Listen to your body. And the process of all that, get the food in. I've been getting the food in. That's been going really well. Getting my water in. You got to have your water intake. You have to get that in, and there's a couple of things, that you have to do. I'm not sure if it's making noise because I'm in the garage. Number 1, protein intake. No, number 1 is caloric deficit. This is not going to work unless you're in a caloric deficit. So like I said before, find out what your caloric intake is and find out what your caloric deficit is. Now, I've been posting diets that I found online. Diets are easy to find. You take a diet, this is what you do. You Google, okay, get your caloric intake, calculate that with that app or that page I gave you, right? Calculate your caloric intake. Take that number, go on Google, like, okay, I did mine, just for example, it said it was 2,100 calories per day, or 2,135. Take the number, go on Google, type in 2,195 calorie diet. You can put for weight loss, you can put for muscle gain, whatever you want. You'll get at least 20 different, searches saying, hey, check this out. Open one up, look at the diet. It may not be the exact foods you need or want to eat, but it's exactly what you probably should do. Now again, there are going to be a whole bunch of examples, different examples of that same caloric regimen. Pick the one that works for you. Why make it hard? Now, if it's a food like I don't like squash, I'm eating it now, but it was never my favorite, or some other foods. Google that food and see, Google similar food similar to this food right here. Just switch it out to something, because the diet's got to be something you like to eat. Do not diet or, set up some diet stuff you can't stand. I eat ground beef, chicken, and fish. Those are my 3 sources of protein. And eggs. I eat rice, white rice, brown rice, broccoli. That's it. Very simple. It's not complicated. Some yogurt, I add some fruits. And again, you want it. Okay, a lot of people like variety. Like my wife, she gets her food, she gets variety. I don't care. I'm doing this for a reason. I'm not doing this to love it, first of all. I'm doing it to get the weight off. So I will do the same foods all 7 days of the week. Or 6 days, and I'll do like I'll change it up on the 7th day. Like it says, your cheat day or whatever we want to call it. Get some different foods in your system. Or, just switch up the meats. But make sure that, the caloric intake that you need is still the same. So, caloric intake or caloric deficit. You have to be in caloric deficit. You have to be in a caloric deficit. You have to be in a caloric deficit. If you're not doing that, just stop. Just stop. Number 2, get your protein intake. There's a lot of equations for that. Most people say 0.6 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. I'm 225. I usually go around 200, because if I go between 0.6 and 1 gram, I can go in between 200. So that means in the 5-6 meals I eat a day, I got to have at least, enough to equate to that. 40, not matter of fact, shit, if it's 5 meals a day, I only need 40 grams of protein. If I go 6, I can do less, and you have to have a protein in your diet and in any meal you eat. Protein is what makes the whole thing work. Caloric deficit and high protein. You got to keep your levels of protein. You have to get that number. So when you do that calculation online, it's going to tell you your breakdown. You got to have a breakdown. When you Google those diets, it'll give you the breakdown of how much protein your body needs. So that helps you with your research. That tells you everything you need. So you don't have to figure out stuff yourself anymore. Shit, you don't need a trainer because everything's on Google. They can tell you what to do. You can Google diets. You can Google workouts to lose fat and to build muscle, and they'll tell you exactly what to do. People, it's not hard. The hardest part is your eating. I work all day. I don't get the time to eat. Okay, if that's the case, then you better get some shakes. Find time to put stuff in your system. Eat a bigger breakfast. Eat all your heavier stuff during the day, because once you start getting towards the end of the day, you don't want to have a whole lot of heavy stuff in your system, because if you eat it heavier during the day, your body's gonna burn. The metabolism's gonna get heated up, from trying to process this food. So again, try to get majority of your meals, earlier on, the heavy ones anyway. Like breakfast should be a heavy meal. It's breakfast. It's the first meal of the day. If you want to eat this carb or something, eat it during breakfast. Eat it earlier on. So like I said, caloric deficit, your protein intake. Third one is strength training. You have to work out. Now, you don't necessarily have to work out to lose weight. I told you that before. You can go on a terrific, caloric deficit diet and lose fat. The strength training burns more fat. Plus, you're conditioning your body. You're building muscle. More muscle burns more fat faster. So why would you want to build muscle? I never agree with that whole dieting first and then building. Why? You can do it together. You're working out to lose fat, but you're working your muscles, so they work together. The food you eat is what builds the muscles. So you still got to get the food in. So the next one is, how should I put it? Cardio. Yes, I have said it on this thing before. You don't need cardio to lose, but cardio is very beneficial for you. Do not get rid of the cardio. I'm going to do cardio today. Now, cardio for fat loss. You got a couple things you can do. You can do HIIT, high intense training. That's a short, intense burst. That's like a track run. I tell people, what's the difference between a track runner and a long distance runner? A track runner, you know, like the short distance track runners, they look great, tight muscles, you know, because short, intensive bursts of energy, so they burn. Your body still burns even after you're done. Long distance runners run forever. So what happens is you're running too long, your body starts to burn your muscle to, you know, for energy. So that's why they don't look as tight or as good as track runners. I just tell people in the gym all the time, because you gotta have a mental thing with that to see, you know, connection with that. So my cardio, I go between 147 to 151 beats per minute. It's low intense, moderate, enough for fat burning. I can go to the elliptical. I prefer the elliptical. Again, for us older people with knee problems, you know, back problems, anything like that. Treadmill is very hard on your knees, high impact, especially on the inclines. I had shin splints for years. You know, I can't do it all that. I can still do it, but I know. Plus, my calves get swollen from treadmill because I'm calf heavy. So the elliptical it's low intense. You can go as hard as you want. You know, you have your hands on the electrodes, and so you can see what your heart rate is going to be, and you're not killing yourself. You know, like I said, you can go outside, do 10 wind sprints, and call it a day. That's in high intensity. I like that too, because I was a track runner. I wasn't a long distance runner. I hate that shit. Or you go 30 minutes. You don't need more than 30 minutes. If you do cardio 3 times a week, go 30 to 45 minutes. Low intense. You shouldn't be in there dying, because I can sweat just as much as you in 30 minutes on the elliptical than you're going to do on that treadmill. Now, but if you like to run, go do your thing. But again, cardio doesn't have to be crazy, so don't look at crazy cardio. So, caloric deficit, protein intake, strength training, cardio, water intake. You have to get that water in. The recommend is a gallon a day. Get as much as you can in. You know, I take about 4 bottles a week to work with me, these 16 fluid ounce bottles. And I personally, when I get up in the morning, I drink a bottle of water to start the day, right off the bat. It's good for your system. It helps you get a lot of stuff out. And you want to get it out. Before I go to bed at night, I drink a bottle of water. So that's 2 right there within a 12-hour period. So my first breakfast, bottle of water. So 1 in the morning, my breakfast, my 2 lunches, 1 right after that when I come home. That's 5 right there. And I still have 1 at night. And that's before I go to bed. But then I have 1 for dinner. So it's like 7 bottles of water. You need water intake. So you got to get it. So again, it's not hard. It's just being consistent. You have to be consistent with all this stuff. The consistency is very possible. You have to be consistent in what you're doing. So it's a lot to do, but it's not as hard as you say or you think. Get a good diet. You know, if you don't have one, even I can help you with one. If you feel that, you know what, it's still too hard for you, let me know. We'll whip up something together and we'll go through it. I got no problem with that. You guys know I'm doing this for a reason. I'm doing this to help out as much as I possibly can. Also, I'm doing it so you see what we go through. If it was easy, everybody looked great. Everybody had the weight they want, and nobody would have an issue. But it's not. It should be easy, but it's not. You know, it's an oxymoron. Sometimes it just doesn't work that way. But I'm doing this to help. You know, to show you experience. That's what I'm doing the first 5 days. Yes, I know it's a vlog. I'm talking my butt off, but again, since from a person who does this, pretty much used to do it for a living, but I do it all the time. I want you guys to understand what we go through to do this. You know, because this stuff you don't see. You'll see somebody already shredded. They're working out. Well, to get those great abs or get shredded, but how they get to that point, they always just show you a picture from before and after, but you never see what happens in the middle of that. So, because that's the journey. The journey is what happens in the middle to get to that point. So, I'm going to keep giving you as much content as possible. All right? And I'm going to probably go to sleep early tonight because I'm going to try to do some recording tomorrow morning. I'm going to go to the gym maybe 2 o'clock in the morning to see if I can get some stuff in for my first workout. So, yeah, today is just cardio and rest. And try to go hit it hard again tomorrow morning. So, that's day 3. Not too much going on, but it's one of those days where I can assess how my first few days went and what I need to, to work up on. Because again, like I said, every day you're looking at what you did for the next week by week. Don't go past that. Deal with what you're doing right now and then plan ahead. So, and it's not as hard as you think. It may be complex, but not as hard as you really think it is. But again, guys, have a great day. This is my accountability check. I'll give you one when I'm in the cardio. Again, if you're working out today, I need an accountability check. I'm holding everybody to the task. If you got it in, let me see it. I'll talk to you guys later and have a great day.